Hello guys, welcome back to the MMASucka channel. My name is Frazer Krohn. I'm yet again joined by Nathaniel Wood. We only spoke a few weeks ago, but there's been quite a few changes in the life of Nathaniel Wood since then. So Nathaniel, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you, mate. This is my first week back to proper normal training, if you like. Still a little bit tender and a couple of little kind of niggles and bumps and bruises and stuff, but I'm back normal training, so it's nice to be back. And mentally, it's just nice. It's got a bit more of a schedule, if you like. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting a fight date booked and getting back in there and doing what I do best.
Yeah, so we'll go on to talk a little bit about who you want to fight a little bit later on. But obviously, like I say, since we last spoke, we last time we spoke, I'll link the interview in the bio. We spoke obviously about the knee injury that you're alluding to there, and I'm glad to hear that we're on the right road, should we say,
Yeah.
to fight camp again and getting a fight booked. But obviously, we spoke about the prospect academy. Obviously, that
Mhm.
launched live on Saturday. So, congratulations on that. And how did the launch go?
Yeah, it went very well. Went very well. We was very happy. Sorry, with the numbers that we got on the first day. So now it's just a case of promoting it, trying to get it out to more people. I've already started with what I wanted to do. We've built a community. We already have. Don't know. It's like a little group of friends. It's like a group chat, but with people that I've never actually met in person. Um, and they're fans of mine, let's say, but now I'd say they're friends. I've met them, I followed them back on Instagram, things like that. So yeah, we was all chatting whilst the UFC London card was going on, and just sharing our opinions and picks and who people thought they was going to win, etc. And yeah, it's been good fun. It's been a successful launch, so I just look forward to keep promoting it, and hopefully it will build and become something special.
Yeah, for sure. And like I say, congratulations on the launch. I'm looking forward to seeing it grow myself. You mentioned UFC London. We did see you on the pay-per-view. We saw you on the not quite where we wanted to see you in the pay-per-view. We wanted, of course, wanted to see you in the octagon, but we saw you cage side with alongside Brad Pickett, who,
Yeah.
like we were talking off air, you two are rivals now in the chess game, not quite the MMA game, but you are rivals in the chess
Yeah.
game. But what we all like you said last time we spoke, it's kind of bittersweet, it being in your home sort of city of London, but not being able to compete on the card. You were debating back then, a month ago, whether you were going to go or not, or whether you just kind of sit this one out. Obviously, you did go. How did Can I sort of get your thoughts on the fight card as a whole, and especially having Leon in the main event? I think that's massive for British MMA. You can obviously speak of that better than I can, but from a fan and a media perspective, that was massive to see Leon not only headline another pay per view, but to do so well in that fight as well.
Yeah, it was bittersweet. It was an amazing card to obviously be at front row pretty much and get to witness live. Obviously the Leon Edwards fight, man, the crowd was something else. I think that's the loudest I've ever been in a arena and heard the crowd, roar like they were that night. The co-main event, wow, what a fight! That was a brilliant fight, and I got to witness it live. So, overall, I was glad that I went. But yeah, it was bittersweet, watching the fights and obviously thinking, man, I should have been doing that. I should have been in there. It's a pay per view card, but yeah, I'm glad I went. It was a cool experience, and yeah, just hopefully next time I'm in the octagon, not on the outside of it.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, do you think that obviously I imagine that I don't know that there's any sort of friendship or relationship between yourself and Leon Edwards, but do you think with Leon being the champion, sort of carrying that flag now forward for sort of pay-per-view events in the UK, we haven't obviously seen, Bisping was the last sort of pay-per-view star, as it were, that headlined in the UK. Do you think with Leon holding on to the belt on Saturday night and going forward, do you think we'll get more pay-per-views in the UK, or is it going to be sort of stick to the kind of one a year schedule that we've not even been used to
um,
with pay-per-views?
So I think so, because the way I'd look at it is the champ, should get to decide where the fight necessarily is. If he's the champ and he's from the UK, surely he gets to decide, okay, I want to fight in the UK. And, I know they're trying to set up him versus Colby Covington, and I've seen that he said, no, doesn't want to fight him. So unless they obviously stripped him of his title, you know, he's the champ. So he gets that kind of say, if you like. So I don't really know. I guess it depends on what Leon wants to do, because maybe he wants to travel abroad. Maybe he's like, no, I want to fight in the States or wherever. So, a lot of it, I guess, would be riding off what decision he wants to make. But man, it does a good job for UK MMA. We've got he's just beaten the pound for pound guy twice. He was ranked pound for pound #1, and obviously now he's not, and then he's just been beaten again. So, as far as I'm concerned, John Jones is the pound for pound, but a lot maybe you're saying that now Leon could be, and for a guy that was a BAMMA champion when I was fighting on BAMMA years and years ago to now be almost ranked pound for pound #1, it's pretty special. From such a small country, England's obviously not a big country, and to have a champion in the UFC is, I think, quite something.
Yeah, for sure. And obviously we've been talking about Leon, we've been talking about UFC 286. Let's address the elephant in the room. You were supposed to fight on this card. When we spoke last time, we were sort of discussing the injury, the knee injury that you suffered, and your opponent on UFC 286 was meant to be, Manchester's England. It was a Battle of Britain, London versus Manchester. Nathaniel Wood from London, Lerone Murphy from Manchester.
Yeah,
and you kind of alluded to that it wasn't any bad blood between the two of you then. The fight is what it is. You get matched up with a guy that's obviously, similar with regards to winning run and ranking and whatnot, like every other fighter in the UFC. There seemed to be a respect between the two of you, especially when we spoke. But that seems to have changed. So can you talk a little bit about what kind of, because whether I just wasn't across sort of social media or whether I missed an interview or whatnot, but that like sort of, I wouldn't go as far as say it was a friendship unless you want to correct me on that, but that sort of kind of relationship, that respect kind of broke down there. Can you talk to us a little bit about that, sort of what happened with that? Because I'm not, to be honest, I'm not 100% sure. I must have missed something, but
yeah. So it started kind of from nothing, because he got salty because I put a tweet up saying, gutted, obviously, I can't be on this card. I was looking to put on a masterclass performance, blah, blah, blah. I'm bigging myself up on my social media. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. I haven't tagged him in anything. I haven't said, oh, yeah, I'm going to absolutely smash Lerone's face in or anything nasty like that. I'm just saying, look, I'm confident I would have put on a masterclass. He got salty and put, like, I think, laughing faces and, like, actually sort of at them. We had a bit of back and forth. It was all squashed, you know what I mean? I said, look, I wish you all the best. As far as I'm concerned, I start getting tagged in videos where interviewers have asked him, they've said, look, Nathaniel Wood would like to get this fight back on, obviously, because I've pulled out from it, because I'm injured. And he's giving it all the like, oh, where's Nathaniel Wood now? Where's Nathaniel Wood now? I showed up. And, implying maybe that I pulled out. He put a plaster video, a picture up. All banter, I get it. Yeah, it's back and forth banter. It's not a problem. I have more banter with my mates on a weekend, and they roast me a lot more. But then after the fight, he lost that fight 100%.
That's what I wanted to ask you. Yeah,
I'm looking at Brad going, oh man, like, damn, I really wanted him to win. One, because it would be a better way of obviously me and him getting the fight rebooked, and two, because I have no bad blood towards him. It generally isn't. It was a bit of banter, it's a bit of back and forth, and I've got DMs where I've said to him, listen, mate, I generally wish you all the best on Saturday night. I mean that. Yeah. So anyway, he goes and has his backstage interview, and I don't know who says to him, hey, Nathaniel Woods just put up on his Twitter that he thinks Lerone Murphy lost, because I do think it. I didn't at him. I didn't tag him. Twitter's popping off. He's not even going to see that. But I guess the interviewers obviously wanted to just stir the pot, and he obviously bit. So instead of just saying whatever, he can think what he likes, he starts going, fuck Nathaniel Wood, where is he? Looking under the table, as if I'm hiding, as if I'm running. Like, mate, I'm trying to reschedule the fight with you. Do you know what I mean? And so I commented on that. I can't even remember what, and we had a bit of back and forth. Then he started saying things about my dog. Right? Because I love my dog.
I did see this.
Now I'm like, okay, now it's on. Then he starts giving it, I'm not even going to fight you now. Like, he's a big draw. Like, mate, you're 5-0 in the UFC. You can't even push 40K followers on Instagram. You're really not that big of a draw. I could do a lot better. All it is we were supposed to fight I pulled out. So I'm saying, hey, let's get this rebooked because I don't want to seem like, oh, Nath pulled out and now he never wants to fight Lerone. I'm
Of
not
course.
scared of you.
Yeah.
I'm not running from you. Hence why I'm trying to get the fight rebooked. He gives it the old, I'm not going to fight you now. I'm going for bigger and better. Bearing in mind, you just lost to a debut guy, right? So I replied, pussy. That's all I said. And he started giving it the, oh, come down to the Hilton and say that to my face. Right. Well, I'm not going to come down to the Hilton because I'm at home at this point. But if you want to be like that, you know where my gym is. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
You
want to
don't
get a
exactly
fight with
hide it,
you.
do you? Yeah.
I want to get a fight with you and I want to get paid for it. I want to reschedule the fight because I'm a mixed martial artist. I'm an athlete. We can literally put our money where our mouths are. No one, prove me wrong. I'm sitting here saying, I think I can beat you. He's saying, I don't think you can. Let's fight, get it rescheduled. If the UFC turn around and say, nah, boys, we don't want you to fight anymore just yet, cool, we'll do it another time. But he's giving it all the large. He's making things personal as far as I'm concerned, because for me, it was generally just banter.
Yeah.
He started saying the fuck Nathaniel Wood, fuck Nathaniel Wood. To me, I take that quite personally. So now, as far as I'm concerned, no, it doesn't have to be cool. It can be bad blood if he wants. And I will see you in the octagon and we can put our money where our mouths are. Prove me wrong. Beat me if you want. Go and knock me out. Say, do what you're going to do. I'm going to come with the same intentions. And if the crowd enjoy it, great. If the crowd don't like the fight because it's two UK guys fighting each other, so be it. I don't care. But listen, don't give it all the big one and then say to me, I'm the one running when I'm the one trying to reschedule the fight. Okay. So then anyway, the last he said is, I'm not fighting you. I'm not fighting you. I'm going top 15. I'm going top 15. I'm thinking, mate, I don't think UFC would give you a top 15 after that performance. But if they do, I wish you all the best. Now, as far as I'm concerned, he's old news. I'm going to look to get a top 15 guy. My last fight against Charles Jourdain looks spot on, spectacular, amazing.
Yeah.
Right?
Can't deny that.
His fight against a debut guy looked shocking. He was poo. He lost that fight 100 million%. Everyone I've asked, everyone that was there live has said the same thing. As far as I'm concerned, I will go for a top 15 guy now, and you can go and do whatever you want. Because I really don't need him. I think he thinks that I'm desperate for it. I've got more followers than you on Instagram. I've got better fights than you. I've got more experience than you. I've had double the amount of fights he's had in his career, and I'm younger than him. So yeah, sorry, I'm getting a bit.
No, I don't mean to. I don't
Juices
want
are
to.
getting flowing
Yeah, I was
now,
going to
but
say. Yeah, I didn't
mate,
mean to get you all riled up, but no, like I
yeah.
say,
As far as I'm
I'm
concerned, he's old news now. I
old
don't
news.
care.
That's
It
what I
is
wanted to
what it
ask because
is. Do your
you.
thing. If you want to fight, I'm here. Send the contracts. I'll sign it. I apologize that I had to pull out because I had 14 stitches in my knee. It is what it is. He's saying, oh, it's a graze. Cool. It's banter. I get it. It's funny. Haha, whatever. But saying, fuck Nathaniel Wood, come to my hotel, say it to my face, go kiss your dog, things like that. Come on, man. You're getting, I'm obviously in his head. Fight me then.
Yeah,
If we get the fight done, there's no more talk. That's the great thing about this sport. It doesn't matter what you say, you are gonna fight. So, if we fight and he wins, he can shut me up. Do you know what I mean? He can say, yeah, smashed you, see you later, vice versa. But yeah, as far as I'm concerned, mate, there's no bad blood because I've got other things going on in life. Do you know what I mean? I
yeah,
don't
for
need to
sure.
worry too much about Lerone. But yeah, for me, it was all a bit of fun and games, and then he made it personal. So yeah.
So you said yeah, exactly. But you kind of alluded to there that the fight is what it is. If it does get rescheduled between the two of you, obviously, you'll sign on the dotted line. If it doesn't, it is what it is. But would you be, reflecting on your career in let's say, for example, 5 to 10 fights time, you're both ranked in the top 15, or even when you look back at your career once you've got a good few years still in the tank, but when you do retire, is that a fight that you'd still want to get back? Do you think if it never gets booked? Because obviously it was, the Battle of Britain. We've got. We're lucky enough to have, Arnold Allen at the top of the featherweight division. We've got Jack Shaw now, obviously a British, obviously Welsh, but a British guy, making his debut, looking, it was a dicey first round, but then obviously he locked in the choke in the second. Is that the sort of almost Battle of Britain that you want, or does that not really to sort of for you to prove that
Um,
you're the best featherweight in Britain, or is that not something you're too asked about?
so I like the fight because obviously with everything that's been said, I would like to prove that I believe I'm better than him. And it's MMA, so he could. Who knows? He could be. He's not. You know, it's a game of luck at the end of the day, a lot of it. But I'm confident that I'm the better athlete. I'm the better fighter. We were supposed to fight. Unfortunately, I had to pull out. Therefore, I want to get that rebooked. You know,
Of
I want to
course.
have that fight.
Hmm.
If it doesn't happen, like I think I don't need that fight in regards to push my career. Do you know what I'm saying? Otherwise, I would like a top 15 guy the same way that he's calling it. But in regards to the style, makes for a great matchup, you know.
Yeah,
As
without a
much
doubt.
as I say about it, he's a very good fighter. He is a very good athlete. He's a very strong, powerful striker, and it's stylistically a great matchup for me. Um, I do not think he's shit. I do not think he's crap. You know, I think he lost that fight the other day, but everyone has their day. So, you know, in regards to that, yeah, I like the matchup. I think it's a fun matchup and it makes sense. You know, and I wouldn't even call it beef, but there's a bit of
There's a
personal kind of
competitive
thing to it.
rivalry
Yeah,
with
yeah,
a
we've
little
got.
bit of
It'd
personal
be nice
insult
to,
sprinkled in, I
yeah,
guess.
it'd be nice to say, look, all right, let's prove it then. You think you're better than me, I think I'm better than you. Let's put our money's where our mouths are. So, but if not, mate, in regards to my career, I want top 15, top 10, no different than him. You know, before me and Lerone were matched, I was asking for a top 15 guy, but you don't tell the UFC who you get, and then they just go, yeah, you can have whatever you want. You know,
Of
who do we
course,
think
yeah.
we are? We're not Conor McGregor. We're not ranked number one in the world. It's Lerone Murphy, Nathaniel Wood. We're very small fish in a very big pond. So, you know, you fight who you're given. And if the UFC match us up, amazing. If they don't and they match me up with someone else, so be it.
With that
But
being
yeah, I
said,
know he doesn't want to fight me. That's a fact.
with that being said, you know, you saying you want a top 15 guy. Have you got a sort of name in mind who within the top? Because I can't lie, I did think that Rome would maybe get a number next to his name, maybe not based on Saturday's performance, but based on the fact that, you know, on paper he did get the win. It is a win on his
Mm-hmm.
record. He is what 5-0 or 5-0
Mm-hmm.
and 1. He had the draw obviously in his debut. Is there a name in mind that you want in the top 15, or is it, you know, whoever
Well,
you're not too
so
fussed?
after I beat Charles Jordan, I looked at the top 15. I don't know what it is at the moment, but I think it was Alex Casares who was
Mm.
15th or 14th. So obviously I sort of thought, right, that would be a great fight because I know there's no point in me calling out the top 10. The UFC aren't going to go, yeah, here's a top 10 guy. So, you know, that top 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, one of them guys, you know. Alex Casares made sense. If you're talking anyone in the world, mate, I'd love to fight the Korean Zombie. You know, I think that would make
Yeah, we said that last
like,
time.
yeah, that would be cool. But I'm not sitting there thinking they're going to give me him because
No, of
he's
course.
seventh, I think, in the world. So
Yeah, he's at
cool. I
six at the
mean,
moment. Like you say, Alex Caceres is still 15. And then you got Edson Barboza, Danny Ige, Sadiq Youssef, and Bryce Mitchell sort of just outside of the top 10. So I think, you know, I think any of those matchups would be a fun
exactly.
fight,
Yeah,
especially on the
yeah,
back of your featherweight career. This, I know it's only sort of two fights, but they haven't exactly been go to the bar
yeah.
fights to say the least.
No, and the thing is, you know, people were saying Charles Jordan beat Shane Burgos.
Shane Burgos,
You know,
yeah.
he didn't, obviously, but people were saying it, and Shane was ranked, I think, 13th, and he was a guy that everyone was avoiding. As far as I'm aware, everyone was avoiding Charles Jourdain. I took the fight, took it on 6 weeks' notice. Cole went to Paris, which was technically his hometown. You know, he had the crowd behind him and smashed him. Cool. Now I'm like, right, who do the UFC want to give me next? If they don't want to give me a top 15 guy, I'm not going to give it the old, oh, I'm not fighting you because you're not top 15. I fight who the UFC give me. I get paid the same regardless of who I'm fighting. So, you know, this is the whole thing that I'm saying. Lerone's giving it the, you know, oh, I'm only going to fight top 15. Basically, what he's saying is he doesn't want to fight me. He even said to me on a DM way before the sort of like beef started, he said, like, bro, do you really think I'm scared of you? And I said, no, I don't think you're scared of me, but I know that you know I'm a tough fight and I'm not ranked. So you're going to go for easier options stylistically. It's like, you know, you're being practical with it. You're thinking, okay, Nath is a good fighter. He's tough. I'd rather avoid that because he's not ranked. You know, I want to get more reward for my wins. So,
Yeah, of course.
you know, I
Yeah.
know his team won't want the fight. So yeah, I'll leave the ball in his court, but I really don't need him as a fight. It does
Yeah, yeah,
nothing
yeah,
really for me in regards to building my career. All it does is gives me bragging rights.
yeah,
It
yeah,
gives me the ability to say I'm the better fighter after all what was said and done. And that's it, mate. Really, if I'm honest, that's it.
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, there's plenty of guys like yourself and Lerone that are sort of fringe top 15 guys at featherweight. It's not like you'll struggle to get a fight, and like I say that with one win you could easily be, like obviously the ideal is that you get a top 15 guy, Alex Caceres, or maybe a Dan Ige or someone of that ilk. But you know,
Yeah, Daniga, yeah.
but if you do like you were saying just now, if you do have to fight outside the top 15, it is what it is. But with that in mind, what does the rest of the year? We're only 3 months in. You were meant to be on competing on Saturday. We had to withdraw due to the injury. You alluded to earlier that you kind of sort of easing yourself back into training, not obviously not going full training just yet. So what does the sort of rest of the year, how are you envisaging the rest of your year going, as far as when do you want to fight again, and then after, assuming that you get the win in whatever fight you're given, are we looking at maybe another 2 fights this year or another 3?
So I'm getting married at the end of August.
No,
So
congrats.
thank you. For me, the plan is just to get one at least in before that. Obviously, where I've only just come back to training, I'd need a little bit of time to get ready. So June, July, that would be perfect, because then after is the wedding. I don't think I'm going to get 2 in before that. So, there's no point in me rushing, getting back in there straight away, let's say next month, and then I
Yeah,
have to wait another 5 months to the next fight. So, my plan, if I had it, was June, July, get married, and then 9 weeks or 10 weeks after my wedding is the Abu Dhabi card. So, I'm like,
yeah.
okay, that would be nice. I literally have my wedding, have a quick honeymoon, then go to Abu Dhabi, have another honeymoon. Obviously that would take me to October, and then November, December. If I come out uninjured, amazing. Let's get one booked in 3 weeks later, 4 weeks later. But yeah, so it may be 2 fights this year. But as long as I get 2 in, one before the wedding, one after the wedding, to pay for the wedding, then I'm happy. But
Am I
yeah,
right in
it's
thinking that
still going.
you fought in Abu Dhabi, is it twice, or is it just the
Yes,
one? You
yeah.
twice.
So I fought twice during the COVID, when
Hmm.
it was the fight island.
The
So
Fight Island, yeah,
I would love to be able to go there and fight in the arena, and obviously
yeah,
have
of
the
course,
fans out there be able to watch the fight. So for me, that would definitely be something I'd like to do. And after a wedding, perfect timing.
yeah, exactly,
It gives
exactly.
me a nice little bit of time to just get ready and pay for the money for the wedding, man. That shit's expensive.
Yeah, we'll have to be asking for post-fight bonuses and all sorts,
Yeah.
with the victory. So, so realistically, what you're kind of implying there is, fingers crossed, we'll get another July card in London. That's the kind of format that they had last year.
That'd be
So would
nice.
you
Yeah.
maybe be looking at getting on that July card in London? If it hasn't been announced yet, of course. We only had the pay-per-view on Saturday night, but that's what they did last year. They did the March, and then they went back in the July. So is that ideally you'd be fighting July and back in? I imagine it'll be the O2, and then on I don't know what they call it now, fight, but in Abu Dhabi for,
Mhm.
is it two
Yeah,
two?
mate. If they do come back to London or UK, yes, obviously I want to always be on the UK card. The fact that I missed the last London last year and one this year, obviously I would love to be on that. That is obviously my main goal, is to be on London cards, especially that I'm the only London fighter. But I haven't heard from the UFC if they are coming back to London.
No,
I
no.
have no idea. So, fingers crossed they do. And then yeah, Abu Dhabi would be nice, and I could take the missus out there and she could watch the fight, whereas the previous Abu Dhabi cards were obviously COVID times, so no one could come out.
Mm,
Um,
mm.
and then yeah, obviously it'd be nice to get one if I could just before Christmas or in the new year. The plan was to originally try and get 4 in this year, but with the injuries, I'm just going to be
Yeah,
lucky if I can get. I'll be happy if I can get 2.
yeah, for sure.
Best case scenario, 2 good wins, get in that top 15 or top 10 maybe, and start 2024 with a bang.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm without a doubt looking forward to that, because, like you say, you moved up to featherweight to become more active. The injuries kept you out so far, but let's hope that, like you say, 2024 can be we can turn the prospect into the champion, perhaps. Who knows? Who knows? But
Yeah, mate. God's
like,
plan, right?
exactly, mate. And like I say, thank you for your time again. We only spoke a few weeks ago. Thank you for your time again today. But just to round off our chat, I just wanted to start a bit of a sort of a new trend when I'm talking to fighters, and just
Mhm.
asking them the question. Simply put, why do you fight? Like, why is it that that you do this sport? Because it's let's be honest, I don't look at me. I definitely don't do the sport, but it's a lot easier for, especially you know yourself. You're from the UK. It's easy to get into a football team on a Sunday, or
Yeah,
go to
yeah.
your local kind of cricket club. It's not an easy sport, and you look at Fiziv's face. It's not a fun sport at times. But so why is it that you fight? Just
So
simply put.
for me, I love competition, and obviously this is the most competitive sport in the world, without a doubt. Um, Two, because my dream was to always be a full-time athlete, as my profession, which MMA allows me to do. I don't rely on team sports, so it's not like football where, it's hard to get into
Mm.
football and actually make a career out of it because there's so many footballers out there.
Yeah,
Um, I love to fight, because this is play fighting at the end of the day. We have a referee, we have rules, we have groin guards, gum shields. Obviously it's a rough form of fighting, but at the end of the day, it's a safe way of having a fight. It's a way of going out there and testing yourself against the best in the world, and it pays well now. I won't
yeah,
lie. Obviously, part of me when I last got the last injury, I thought, "Fuck this, man! I'm done." I'm going to go and get a job, and then I thought, oh, "No, man, I can't go and get a job." I get paid a shit ton of money to fight and do what I love. So I would say the competition is the main part. Having that passion for if you win, it's on you. If you lose, it's on you. No one else. You can't blame your team. Some people blame their teams, but it's like, well, at the end of the day, it's you that picks your team. So, yeah, I would say it's the competition and the passion that I have for martial arts and fighting. A
mm.
one-on-one combat sport. Yeah.
Yeah, that's brilliant, mate. Well, like I say, thank you for your time. Best of luck. Let's hope. Let's get everyone that watches this video, get over to Twitter, tag Nathaniel, tag Alex Caceres. Let's get that top 15 fight. Best of luck for the rest of the year, and I'll speak to you again soon, mate.
No, thank you, mate. Appreciate your time
Thank
as
you.
always.